Hello and welcome to how easy it is to cheat in fighting games. To preface this video, I will not be displaying or providing access or anything of that nature to cheating or how to cheat. I do not condone cheating, this is purely for demonstrative purposes. For some background on myself, in terms of making this cheat, I have prior experience reverse engineering games for the sake of mods, and I have knowledge of scripting languages, but that's about it. I'm not some super whiz computer programmer. I am not some master, hacker providing, anti-cheat workarounds or whatever for major games. I am just pretty basic, bare bones. I do not have vast experience making something like this. And the tool itself took a bit over an hour, is somewhat sophisticated, at least for what it currently does. It is very much finely tuned to deal with Red Arc, and specifically for this game. It does not work on other games, it does not work against other characters. Well, it kinda does, but not really. Yeah, that's currently how it's set up. It's very quick and dirty. But I'm sure, if somebody really wanted to, they could make something that works for any fighting game, and it would work against every character relatively easily. Maybe not super easy, but, not as difficult as you might think it would actually be. So, to talk about the tool itself and what it does, it basically gives you perfect defense. You will block every low, you will block every overhead, you will get hit by every throw. And I guess I should show this off as well. I wanted input history on to show just how ridiculous the tool kind of gets, but for some reason this game does not show the second player's input history, at least not when they're set to the keyboard, which I currently have CL set to just because it's convenient. And I guess I should show that yes, she is set to a controller. At the moment, with the tool off, CL will just not do anything, as you'll see. She doesn't tech or anything like that. And so now I guess I will turn the tool on. So you'll see if I crouch A here with the tool on, CL doesn't do anything. But if I go in range, she will block the 2A. But out of range, she won't try to crouch block. This is where it becomes incredibly difficult to detect if someone is using a tool like this. My understanding is the Tekken community is plagued by a tool that is similar, where it will tech throws and it will block lows, but it tries to block lows even when lows are out of range. This tool has been meticulously tuned to Red Arc to not actually try to block something that won't hit it. It's not perfect, because again it is very quick and dirty, but you will see if I am out of range, it doesn't try to block. And you'll see it block blows, you'll see here it also blocks overheads, it stands up for those, and again if I'm out of range it doesn't try to block it at all. Much the same if you try to throw, it will tech the throw. If you are out of range, which is about a backdash, it won't try to tech the throw. There's no reason to. But if you're still in range with this game's run throw system, it will recognize that and try to tech the throw. This is basically the perfect defense. If you just want to down back and not get hit by anything, this tool will let you do it. It's not some god's cheat the way an aimbot might be in a first-person shooter, but it is certainly a cheat that a good player could use to augment their defense and make them basically untouchable on the defensive. The tool is very basic, at least at the moment, for me. But you'll probably see just from this very short demonstration what it is capable of doing. This tool for Melty Blood could be tuned so that if a shield ever occurs, that the tool will never lose the shield minigame, where you kind of have to guess what they're going to do. This tool will be able to always make the correct decision for you. This is the kind of cheating that is possible in fighting games, and it is not incredibly difficult to make. This tool blocks a 2A on reaction. This isn't something that, a human could ever do. It's standing up. It's standing up. It will only crouch to block that 2A. It's so fast. But yes, this is capable in any fighting game. It doesn't matter. Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Melty Blood, Guilty Gear, BlazBlue. whatever game you want to play, this is possible. You know, this is probably the hardest cheat to tell someone is using, if it is sophisticated enough to only block or tech throws and things like that. Only if, you know, you're in a situation where it would hit you and you would be forced to block it. You know, at this point, there is no way, I guess, to tell. Like, at least from my knowledge, at least you wouldn't be able to tell in a match. Maybe from analyzing replays, you could tell someone is using something like this. But this is the big issue, right? Like, people have been talking about how, oh, maybe online, you know, online tournaments and this, that, and the third. But you, in an online tournament environment, if someone is using something like this, it is incredibly difficult to tell that they're doing it. In fact, I would believe, honestly, that there are probably people that are doing something like this in some games. I mean, I guess we've already seen there are people doing it in Tekken 7. But the only reason people know people are doing it in Tekken 7 is because the tool to do it is unsophisticated and will try to block low even out of range of lows, from my knowledge. But with that fine tuning, with that, you know, with it not trying to block out of range, you know, how can you tell someone is doing this? You know, this is the problem with the, you know, the push for online tournaments, and I guess, at least my perspective on it. It is not difficult to do this. There is a good chance there are people already doing this online in fighting games. And at the moment, I guess there aren't very large, I guess, like cheat or hack providers, because this isn't in demand. Fighting games aren't big enough for these people to be making money off of selling cheats. But if it ever got to that point, you could pretty much bet that they would be doing it. At the moment, again, I would surmise there are probably people using something like this online that they've made themselves. It's not incredibly difficult for someone like me who doesn't have expansive knowledge of something like this, and I was able to do it. You know, it wouldn't be hard for someone that is very knowledgeable to create something like this. So yeah, that's it. All I wanted to do was show off what is possible. It's very quick, it's very dirty, and again, I will not provide any actual access to this, but it's possible, and it's something that you need to consider, I guess, for kind of online events, especially those which have significant prize money or, you know, qualifiers, etc. There is a chance that there are people using tools like this. It is completely possible they can be using it online. There's no way to realistically tell. It would require quite significant analysis, and at the end of the day, their defense might just be godlike. What are you gonna do? You know. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this you know, shed some light on something that you might not know is possible or potentially already happening.